Alright, so really quick, I just wanted to talk about this because this actually got me a little bit excited because I know I talked about it in another, not this soldier, but a different soldier. I talked about it would be nice for this situation to happen, and we're kind of seeing it right now. But I'm probably going to butcher the name because he's not American. Like he's not born. He wasn't born here. He was born in China. So I'm probably going to mispronounce his name along with what the city he was born at, what it's called now. Because it's changed his name since he was alive. So, Wingo Hom was born on January 10th, 1924, in what is now Guangzhou, China. I couldn't find, I looked up on Find a Grave, and I'm only gonna have like the bare minimum access on Ancestry anymore because I have to cut back because I work a part-time job. I'm home with my daughter most of the time, so I I money's a little tight, so I had to cut back. And on the bare basic of Ancestry, you can't look up like overseas records, which I'm assuming is where his information is going to be at. So I doubt I'm going to be able to find out any information on him concerning like relatives or that in China, and there's nothing listed in Find the Grave. And the other websites I use, I can't find any information. Like none of the websites they're talking about this, because like I said, this is recent. This got announced, so there's not a whole lot of information on family and stuff like that. So this is what I could find. So, like I said, he's from what is now Guangzhou, China. But at some point, he moved over here to Massachusetts. And he would eventually go on to be assigned to Company B, 7th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division. I'm not sure when he enlisted. I'm not sure, like, where his training was at and that. Like I said, it's like bare minimum looking at stuff through a file kind of thing. There's not a whole lot I can find on this guy right now at this moment. But anyway, on February 2nd, 1944, so he served during World War II, he would be reported missing after his unit had engaged in a defensive fighting against the enemy in Cisterna di Latina in Italy. In September of 1944, the 3044th Graves Registration Company would find human remains 3 miles west of where he was last seen in a small hamlet called Ponte Roto. But they couldn't, like, there was no dog tag, no ID, nothing to identify who this man was that they had found. So they sent his body away to the central identification point at Neutrino, but literally all they could figure out was that this is obviously the body of an American soldier. But they could, yeah, again, I guess nobody came forward. He might have moved to America by himself. His family might not have known he died. They might have been over in China not knowing. I mean, we all know what was going on in China, so for all we know, his family might not have been able to try to get a hold of him because the Japanese might have been preventing them from communicating to him. So it's probably one of those things, unless he found out and that's why he enlisted, to try to, rescue his family any way he could. As far as I could tell, his family might not have found out until afterwards that he was missing. But anyway, in 1948, his remains would be declared unidentifiable, and they would just take his body with probably several other bodies, just like we've seen before, and he would be buried at the Sicily Rome American Cemetery. Now, this isn't where it ends, because like I said, this just came out. This is something I've been talking about that I wanted to see happen, so I'm kind of excited about it. I don't see a lot of other people talking about it yet, but on September of 2021, DPAA would disinter the body, and they would set about seeing if they could find a way to identify the body. I don't know if he had like what his name was whenever he was unidentified, but anyway, they would disinter him and they would send him off to another one of their labs. It's not the one in Pearl Harbor. It's a different one. I didn't write down where that was at, and I'm not sure where it was at, and I've only seen it in one spot, so I'm not sure. Right now, I'm not really sure exactly what lab they sent it to, but they sent it to another one of their labs. And finally, it was just announced about 2 days ago? Yeah, I believe about a day or two ago. It was announced that on April 6th, 2023, the DPAA had enough evidence to prove that now Private Wing is now accounted for. His body is going to be sent back to the States because, like I said, I don't know what happened to his family. I don't know if he's got any living relatives. I don't know if they've all escaped to America and that's where they're living. I'm not, this just broke, so I don't know why they're sending his body back to America instead of China. But his body is going to be sent back to be buried somewhere in Brooklyn, New York on October 11th, 2023. So at least there's, like I said, it'd be nice to see more stuff like this. So hopefully in the future I can do another of, hey, this guy's been accounted for. So I just want to talk about him real quick because that's important too. Is just make sure the word gets out. So while his time in the military was brief, because like I said, I don't know when he came to America, I don't know when he signed up, but I'm going to assume because he was a private, it was probably one of those things that he went through training, got his assignment, went to Europe, was probably there for a couple of months to a year, if that, and was killed, and that was that. But he was awarded the Combat Infantryman First Award, the Bronze Star Medal, the American Campaign Medal, the Europe, Africa, and Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, the World War II Victory Medal, and the Purple Heart. And I'm going to assume he got that after his death, because there's no list of when he got those, so I'm going to assume that he probably got them after he had passed away. So, just wanted to cover him real fast, because, like I said, even if I did do a full thing on him, this is kind of a full thing, because this is going as long as the other one's going to be uploaded today. But, I'm not a lot of information on him, unfortunately, other than the bare minimum of what he did. Right, so just want to do that real quick and get to move on to the next soldier. Start researching the next soldier, see what I can find on him. Right, thanks. Bye.